What's up, guys? Welcome back to Catch You Later Outdoors, and today I'm going to be showing you this property and what we plan on doing to it. So this is some of the property, and as you can tell, it's very grown up. Now there's a lot of muscadine or scuppernong vines, whatever you want to call them. I'm not 100% sure what these are, whether they're scuppernines or what, or muscadines, but I know deer can browse on them, I believe, but there's a lot of them here, and this is the area where we're going to put a food plot, I believe. Now, the only thing about this is that, as you can tell, it's very grown up, so I don't know if we could even fit a tractor back here, so I'm going to try to just get a metal rake and rip all this out by hand, which I'm fine with doing. And you also got to make sure you got plenty of sunlight. And there is a big old yellow poplar tree right there that I don't want to block any sun. But I think if we just get some of these smaller trees out of the way, that ain't a problem to get rid of. And then maybe it'll at least get 50% sunlight through the day. And so it's definitely getting sun, and there's no doubt about that. So as long as it has enough sun to actually grow and that, do everything it needs to do, it'll be good. But you can also tell throughout the woods that there is a lot of trees, and there's not much room for there to be, sunlight hitting the ground so that native vegetation can grow. So that's the only thing. And so what I'd like to do around this area is thin some of these trees. Of course, I ain't gonna go get no chainsaw and cut none of these big trees down, not at all, but you can kind of do the smaller trees that are close to the ground, kind of like these, that sweet gum right there, and you can kind of take them out or whatever, and it'll help out a little bit and stuff. So I'd like to try to manage this top side up here on top of this hill a little bit and see how it works out and compare it to a side I have not managed, and I'll see what I'm doing right. So that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'll clear some of this out, and I'll show you what it looks like in a little bit. Man, just caught this nice spotted bass right here on a shaky head, and that was pretty cool. Dropped it down there, and I didn't even know he had it until he started taking off with it. Catch you later. Praise the Lord. No. Man, it looked like a bass from what I could see. Man. Well, we had a tiny one on the jig. Man. He wanted it. If only that tree wasn't there, we would have had one. They're in there. And so today I wanted to encourage you to watch out for labels, because labels is lies that basically Satan takes and tries to lie to you and believe that you're something you're not, like that. And because he takes these like words that people say about you, these negative words, and he tries making you think all these different things, like, oh, you're not good enough, or oh, you're not pretty enough, or oh, you're not tall enough, and all these things he takes and tries to make it your identity, and he just lies to you about it. And he does this because he knows that you're stronger than him, because he knows that you have authority over him and you can cast him away. And he knows that. He's trying to get you not to know that. He tries to get you down and defeated and discouraged so you don't stand up and fight back and cast him away. So he tries to basically get a big cloud in front of your eyes so you can't see him and see how you can actually beat him. And so we got to make sure that we pay attention and have the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit and the shield of faith, and that we guard against these, lies that the enemy tells us, because he tries to get these labels and these lies and stick them to us and make us think that they're our identity and that's who we are, when he's just lying to us. So we got to guard our hearts from that and ask the Holy Spirit to help us to, identify these lies and to not believe them, because Satan's just a liar. All he's going to do is just lie to you. And so we got to make sure that we watch out for him and not believe him, because the only thing that's from God are the things that are good. And if it gets you discouraged, gets you sad, and gets you down, it's not from God. So just know, don't follow that stuff. Only follow what's from God, which is encouraging, which is loving, and which is kind, and the fruits of the Spirit, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. And so we got to make sure that we stay in God's Word and don't listen to the lies of the enemy. And so it is the next morning, and we got some pretty good work done yesterday. I mean, it's not as grown up, thankfully. You can tell where I haven't been, kind of where it kind of has been. And so that's kind of the food plot's going to look like. It's a big old square kind of, and so might make it just a little bigger, but I mean that's kind of, you get a general shape of it, and it's a good bit bigger than it was last year. And we got to keep in mind that you don't want to have too many mouths to feed, and just they come and wipe your food plot out. Because say I have, say 20 different deer and a lot of different turkeys, and you plant a good nice green food plot, and they come and they eat it all gone and wipe it completely out because you didn't have that big of a food plot. So you need to have a good food plot size for your deer herd. So you gotta make sure how many deers and mice you have to feed. You gotta match that for your food plot, basically, to where they're not gonna gobble it all up at the first day they come and eat at it. So you gotta make sure that it sustain them for a good, deer season, or even in the summer, because it's good to have food in the summer for your does and fawns, so they can stay healthy and grow too. So as you can tell, it's kind of a smaller kind of plot that I'm managing right now, but it's good to start small. Because say you had a whole lot of land and you were managing it, and say you're clear cutting it. Well, if you clear cut all of that, then for a short period of time before all that new growth grows back, you're just going to have basically a biological desert where nothing's growing, nothing's really producing or anything like that. And that's all that wildlife that was living there will kind of have to move somewhere else until that grows all back and stuff, and they can start eating on it again. So it's good to kind of split up in like a graph, or like, a pie shape kind of, to where you do a section here, and a little bit later you do a section over here, and a little later you do a section over there. So it's not like you're just wiping out a whole bunch of land and then they all goes back at the same time where you have an even age stand. Because you don't really want an even age stand where all the trees are about the same age. Because out here it's pretty good, because while there's a lot of trees and you can do a thinning, take some of them out, there are like a lot of different trees and a lot of different ages and size. Like you got pine trees here, you got oak trees, you got maple trees, and you got yellow poplar trees. All kind of trees, thankfully, and American beech trees. And a lot of this is good and beneficial to wildlife. So it's good to have a good diverse stand, a mixed hardwoods and pines and stuff like that. So that's what we like here. It definitely needs a thinning though, so more sun can reach the ground. Because about the only green growing on the ground there is a lot of them scuppernine or muscadine vines or whatever you want to call them. Because deer can browse on them, I think, but I don't think it's not necessarily something they love, like the native grasses and forbs that you can have out here. So, gonna do a little bit more management, but small sections by little bit. So it's not gonna affect the wildlife in a negative way, but do it in a positive way. And so here's the good thing right here, is the sun is hitting the ground right there, and it's not, it is shaded over here, but it's not as shaded right there. And of course the earth is moving, so the sun's going to shine on different parts of the land out here at different times of the day. So hopefully they all get adequate sunlight that they need to grow, and the plot's going to grow good after we plant it. So it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to keep on working out here, and I'll get back to you and show you what progress we made in a second. So here's the before. And here's the after. So this is what it looks like now, and it's a whole lot better than what it used to look like. Though there is still a whole lot of vines and stuff like that. hopefully me, pulling them and all that out of their root system is gonna get them to wilt away, like they kind of did last year, I think. And so hopefully it's gonna do a lot better. And you can see back there, there's some of them sweet gum tree stumps that I kind of fell, and they're easy. I mean, they're small and all that, but still, they were blocking some sun. And as you can tell, there's a whole lot more sun reaching the ground, and as the day goes on, more the sun will, reach these other spots that are shaded now. And it's still good, I mean, to, just fell some trees that need to be felled if they're in the way. If they're, easy to do. You don't want to do no giant one. And if you ain't got that much help, but still, I mean, it's looking a lot better. And this is just part one. We're going to be doing some more parts in the future, hopefully. And hopefully we'll get it done before it's time to plant. And because we're kind of doing this a little bit late, but that's alright. But hey, it's looking a lot better. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned some stuff about, managing the habitat for your wildlife. And it's definitely very important. And it's a great way to, help the earth that God blessed us with and to maintain it the way He desires. And so, hey, I encourage you to go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already too. And thank you so much for watching the video. Until the next one, we'll catch you later outdoors. God bless.